Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, you're also welcome. If you like what you see, hit the like button. We're here every Thursday night with something. And tonight all I've got is one piece that I want to show. This kit was released in 1995. And I believe I got this very shortly after that. So this thing is somewhere around 25 years old. It's hard to believe that. Time's going by pretty fast. I couldn't believe it myself when I looked up what date this was released. But that's the case. This is the one that's got the blue, the medium blue, not metallic, but medium blue paint on the box. The truck is medium blue. That was the original release. And so I got this right after it was released or within a couple of years. So this is quite old. Maybe I sat on it for a little bit before I built it, but it's still probably a 20-year build. What I want to get into tonight is, this is not stock. It's not box stock or factory stock, obviously. But it's only got, that I can remember right now, it's only got one resin piece on it. The rest of it is kit bashed from at least two other kits. And then some of it is just plain scratch built, if you will. So this is the 50 Ford, Revell's 50 Ford F1 two-wheel drive truck. It came with chrome grill, chrome around the hood, openings in the front and on the side. Don't remember what the taillights were, but they probably hung, on a bracket on the side like most trucks did then. But let me go through some of the changes that I made. First of all, the tires and wheels are off of 49 Mercury, AMT's 49 Mercury. That's the tires and wheels are off that. The taillights are out of the same kit. They're custom lights in the 49 Mercury kit to be used when you built the custom Mercury. They're all chrome, but I brush painted some clear red on. This was back far enough that I think it was testers. Probably wasn't called clear red. It was probably quite sure it was called taillight red. So I used it for that. It came out pretty good. Let's see what else. The tonneau cover is scratch built. I have a wooden framework underneath it, sitting on top of the bed rails. And then it's got wooden slats for these ribs. Very much as you would see the old canvas tonneau covers. Boy, that goes back a ways. We're not using those anymore. I haven't seen one in years. The ones that we got now usually sit on top. They're clamped on, bolted on or whatever, but they got a hard framework, and they're a plastic top. Sometimes they're three pieces that fold open. Sometimes they roll back like a roll top desk. But way back in the day, these had snaps right along these edges. I understand why they went away from it, because you would drill a hole in the truck, pop rivet, a snap on the body, and then the canvas would have the female part of the snap in the canvas. And you pulled it down, you snapped it. Pulled it down, you snapped it. You went to the other side and you pulled it tight and snapped it over on that side. And that's what gave it that tight look over the top of the ribs. The ribs were there to hold it up so it didn't fall down inside the truck. And it gave it not a hard surface, but a springy canvas surface. The tailgate also had the snaps in it. So what happened was, when you sold the truck, or when you moved on to a different one, if somebody took the canvas off, the top off, they had snaps on the side. Or if you had it long enough in the state where I live, them snaps would rot, holes would rot right around the snaps. And then you didn't have a canvas top because you didn't have any snaps to hold it on. So that's old style right there. I don't know what I left underneath it. I don't think I put a special floor on. I think it's just a painted floor. So you can see the stance. The rear axle, I flipped it and put it above the springs. So that lowered the body down in the back. In the front, it's a straight axle, and I put it above the springs in the front. And that's what brought this truck down to where you see it. And, that's why the tires and wheels fit up in the fender well so nice. And it sits nice and even that way, too. It would have been nice to have a little bit more of a lower rake in the front, but it's still okay. The running boards, I don't know if I've ever seen it anywhere before. Maybe on a custom truck for an indoor show, one that never got driven, they might have had a vinyl or a leather coating on the running boards. But on this one, I put this canvas on there. When I say canvas, it's just a light cotton cloth. But when you paint it, it gets kind of stiff like canvas. So that's what I'm calling it. It's a canvas-covered running board. The paint on the truck is a 1994 Firebird Hawaiian Orchid. It may have been on the 93 Corvette before the Firebird, but I know it was on the 94, 95 Firebird and maybe a couple other cars. Maybe the Camaro, I'm not sure, but I know Pontiac Firebird had that. So that's a General Motors color on this truck, and it looks good on there as far as I'm concerned. The interior is white. I think I just did it as the vinyl that was originally in the truck. Yeah, I didn't do any fancy work inside other than what came in the kit. So the two colors I thought went together pretty well. When it comes back around, you'll see that I've got the window halfway down, and it has the chrome trim on top of the window that it would have. It goes up into the window track at the top. So the window's halfway down. That's a different look. The hood is the only resin piece on here, aftermarket, and the hood came from a company called Trumansburg Louver Company. He made hoods for all different vehicles and cast them with the louvers right in them. I knew the guy, knew him quite well. I can't say that I ever asked him how he did it, but they look pretty good. They came out good, and all the ones that I saw for his other vehicles were just as good as this. Like I say, it's resin. Underneath the hood, I've left it just stock. It's a flathead. I don't know if we can get a good look at it on this camera or not. Maybe in the light it'll show better. But the engine is the same color as the truck, and then all the head bolts are silver, so that they stand out a little bit. Firewall is the same color as the truck and all that. And while I got it in my hand, let's look at the bottom side. The exhaust is custom built, and at that time I wasn't putting a muffler on it because you know how those flatheads sound when you got less exhaust. Well, this is a lot less exhaust on this. So this would have a real nice sound if it was a 1-to-1. The tips, the aluminum tips on the end, we ovaled them, put an oval shape in the end of them, and they come out the side. So you can see underneath where the suspension work was done, it really isn't anything to it except I just put it above the axle and flipped it over. And the same thing in the front. I got it above the springs. I'm sorry, in the back I put it above the springs. But that's all I did was put it above the springs in the front, and that's what lowered it. Other than that, it's got the stock engine and transmission in it. We've already talked about the taillights. The tailgate is stock. So you've got spare tire hanging under it. When it comes around, we'll look at the grill. It's a screen. I put a screen in there instead of the grill. Had to cut it to shape. Behind it are headlights, amber-colored headlights. They'd be more fog lights in reality. But the screen is just plain old window screen you'd have in your house. And I cut it down to fit that. I put some in the front of the hood. Where those vents would be. Now, they used to have chrome around this outside. That's what it was, stock. And there was chrome on the side, too. So I de-chromed it and then did this other stuff with the screen. Now, the second kit that was used for parts is the 41 Plymouth. It gave up the front bumper. So that's off a 41 Plymouth there. I think that pretty much covers all the custom work done on this. Yeah, it does. But it was easy to do because there wasn't any cutting and fitting and mock-ups. It's just pretty simple. It was just a pretty simple conversion by just putting different parts on it. So it's kind of fun. It looks good sitting in my pickup truck display. My pickups in the park, I call that diorama. It's a pickup truck show. Obviously, it's got other things. It's got vans and El Caminos. Maybe one of these days I'll bring out the El Caminos and take a look at those. But we got Fords and Chevys and Dodges and a Studebaker, and I've got an international pickup in the queue. We got Jeeps, got vans, all in the pickup truck show. It's kind of a neat diorama. You can see that as one of my first 7 videos. So you scroll down, you'll find it, and you'll see what kind of a crowd this is sitting in. It's the only one that I've got this kind of work done on as far as trucks go. I know in the old days there was pickup trucks on the show circuit that were very radical. This is not real radical, but I like it. I think it came out very well. Now I have one more of these, I think, but it's a later version, and I think it's a custom version. It's got, when I say custom, I don't know what they did. They probably put wheels in it and decals that look like scallops down the side and the doors and top of the fenders and so forth. I probably won't do that, but in the grill, I bought a resin cast grill. Actually, it was more in the grill. It came with a cab and hood and fenders. I think the hood came with the cab and fenders. Apparently, the 52 is a little bit different. The same basic cab, but the fenders and the front end are slightly different. So it's got those, I think there's 4 or 5 like stanchions, big kind of stanchions shaped like that in the grill. They're tied together with a bar. The headlights are at that's why it's different, because the headlights are not inside here. They are inside here, but they're part of the grill. They're at the very end of the grill. That shape in the grill, this is not there. I think it's more uniform round, or maybe the sides come down straight to the splash pan. But it's got that 51, 52 grill in it, which is steel. It's not really a grill per se. It's metal. It looks like bumper guard kind of thing, but it's inside there. If you're familiar with the truck, you know. And I like that truck better than the 48 or 50. I just like the front end of it better. So I've got that to be built. It'll be along with this one when I get it done, somewhere down there in that display. But that's all I got for tonight. I just wanted to show you that. And again, I like this automotive paint. This is base coat, clear coat, urethane, automotive paint. And I'm telling you that this is at least 20, probably 25 to almost 30 years old. And look how it's held up. I mean, obviously it's not out in the weather like your one-to-one car you drive, but it just holds up very, very well. I really like it. And that's what I do all of my work with. I mean, I may change sometime and do something different, try something else out. But right now, that's what floats my boat, is that base coat, clear coat. I go out in my little paint room. I built a room that's like 6 by 10. So I'm standing in the booth. I'm not in a little booth like this spraying into it. I'm right in the booth with the car. And, it's got exhaust fan and all that. So I use automotive paint. I use automotive paint gun, a little touch-up gun, they call it, for inside door jams and so forth. It works real well for this stuff. So that's that. Like I say again, go look at my diorama. It's one of the first 6 or 7 that I put up. And look at that diorama where this sits, and you'll see what else we got going on with the pickups. So that's all I got for tonight. I hope you have a good week, and we'll see you again next week.